Hi everyone, this is the journaling session for 7th of July, Monday. So, as we discussed on Friday, what the plan was to take a trade if this hammer candle is breached, right? And that is exactly what I did. But the only problem was it was you can see it on the 5 minutes chart. If you see here, the high of the hammer candle is actually at 25,470. And now zooming in, you'll see that 25,270 reached by the second candle itself. I mean, 25,470 was breached by the second candle itself, but it was only done so momentarily. Now, if we go back to our execution checklist, although it was a higher time frame zone, there was no consolidation before breach. So ideally, I shouldn't have taken this trade. But yeah. So when it momentarily got breached and then it came, I mean, ideally there should have been a consolidation here and then it should have gone up. Uh, but yeah, but when it went up and came down, I sort of knew that, yeah, this is a sideways price action. But then when it went up and when it went up, I'd entered it around 70 in the option chart and it had gone to around 85, around 0.75 hour. So I got a little excited. I was like, okay, maybe this will go up. But when it came down, I could see that, yeah, it's definitely sideways price action. But yeah, I held on. But when this got breached around here, it was pretty much clear that, I should have got now. But yeah, I held on further, hoping that, the price would come. But I mean, a break even price would come, but it didn't. Even here, it didn't actually. Yeah, it here it had crossed 70, but I couldn't exist in time. Then for the rest of the day, I kept on holding in hope. First, it was if it was for the hope that it'll go up, the breakout would sustain. After this, it was more like, yeah, I'll exit at break even. Neither of which happened, and I ended up holding till around, I mean, post 3 o'clock. After which it was like it didn't make any sense to hold. So, although it scored around 8.5 or something, it was, I mean, I am classifying it as FOMO trade because I had realized around here at least, like, actually, I'd realized it around here by 9:30, but if not, then around 9:40 to 10. So definitely I realized that this is no longer, I mean, my view was no longer holding, but I kept on holding in hope. And I was hoping that I'll be able to crash the trade at PNL. So basically I was affected by the PNL. And after that point, it was a FOMO trade. And I've made an amendment to the SOP that from now on, after realizing it's a FOMO trade and I just hold on for the sake of it, for the sake of PNL, I should be penalized for it by not allowing me for trading. I mean, not allowing me to take a trade for another 2 days. Just like I have a rule for, the same rule for breaching per trade or per day ka loss, or like if I, take a trade without scoring 6 out of 6 in mindset score. Yeah. So that has been it. Otherwise, it was pretty evident that it was going to be a sideways trade, and it really was because it stayed within like what, less than 180 points almost. So yeah, that was pretty much it. And if you look at the daily chart, it has formed another hammer sort of candle, and yeah, if it breaches the high, the views should still hold, but I'll wait for 500 to be taken out because the high is at 489. And yeah, I'll definitely wait for consolidation this time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Another opportunity would be if there is a consolidation and this trend line is breached, then I'll stay for, till here. But otherwise, it's still 600. And if it opens anywhere in between and, continues, it's pretty much sideways. And ideally, like within this range, like we discussed, as long as it's within this range, I don't expect much of a momentum. So, yeah, that's it. See you tomorrow.